G'day, I'm Steamin STIX, your favourite mediocre musician, and I am not okay. We're continuing our part 2 of my Are You OK Day special, so here are the rest of my stories I have to tell. So our third story in this video is about my Patonus tattoo. I really needed this tattoo. Before I get into it, because I'm worried things will be said in the comments. Most recently, there's been a lot of issue with J.K. Rowling and her transphobic views. I do not agree with those at all. Transgender people deserve to live and enjoy happy lives just like the rest of us. My respect for J.K. Rowling has been dwindling over the years, but this really, I just could not stand this. I then seriously put into question how much could I potentially still justify liking Harry Potter knowing her transphobic views. To help me come to my conclusion, I watched on YouTube a video by Council of Geeks titled Enjoying the Works of Problematic Creators. I've got it listed in the description if you would like to have a look at it as well. I think it's a very good video, and the bottom line of it basically says if you have enjoyed the work of a creator and have had a love for, a story or whatever thing they've created, and then later discovered that their views on some things are very wrong in your opinion, it is okay for you to still enjoy the story for how it makes you feel. And yeah, that video was very helpful for me to feel like I'm still allowed to like and enjoy the story of Harry Potter, but also be aware and acknowledge that I do not support J.K. Rowling and her transphobic views at all. So with my Patonus tattoo, I should hopefully have a photo of that so you can see what it's all about. That was the 4th tattoo that I got. I think I've got like 13 now. When thinking of getting a Patonus wolf tattoo, I knew I wanted a wolf, and I kind of wanted it in, is it airbrush? No, watercolor style. Yeah, I wanted a tattoo in watercolor style. So I was looking up on, Google Images, just watercolor tattoos, and then I saw a Patonus one, and then I thought, why don't I make my wolf my Patonus? That makes sense. So then I was very excited about that, because then I was like, perfect, and now I've got a Harry Potter tattoo as well. And then I was also really good as well because aside from 2, I've gotten all my tattoos done by the one guy. So my Patonus and my other Harry Potter tattoo have been done by the same person, and I kind of found her by chance. I was out hitting the town with my friends and someone was just passing around tattoo business cards and everything. I kept one because, I like tattoos. Had it in my room for however long, and then I actually looked at one of the photos closely and I thought, that's the kind of style I want my wolf to be. I'm gonna see them for my Patonus. So I did. I'm sure my normal guy would have done a really good job, but then, I kind of had an actual thing of, I see that you can do this. I would like you to do this for me, please. And she was so awesome. But the bad side of my Patonus tattoo is I had things were getting a bit tricky at work. There was a lot more tension. To quickly brush over it, I was also nearly fired, and I was also kind of just fed up from being there, and so I kind of rage quit. But they nearly fired me anyway, so we all wanted me gone, so that's fine. But of course, I then didn't have any money because I didn't have a job, and the money I was getting from Centrelink, which was not much at all because I was still living at home, and then the money I was then paying to mum for, my share of bills and all this and that, I did not have hardly any money to live. and all of that. So that wasn't a good financial situation time for me. So after not wanting to admit it, I then thought to myself, I can't justify getting my tattoo when I need that same amount of money to put rego on my car, to put petrol in my car. I was riding my bike to like all my friends' places because conveniently we all kind of lived a roughly 5-kilometer radius, so it wasn't that hard for me to ride to my friends' places, because I couldn't justify using my car because then I would have to pay for petrol, which I didn't really have money for. So then of course I thought, no, I really want this tattoo. Like I wanted my tattoo to be like my 21st present to myself, but I just could not justify it considering I was jobless and on Centrelink and did not have any extra savings, because what I was able to save, my car rego came up. There were still things that I needed my car for, so I needed to keep my car registered. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Okay. So August 2015 was my 21st birthday. So I quit my job, I think about March of that year as well, and I thought, oh yeah, I've got so much working experience, I'll be hired in no trouble. I had to get a handout from my sister to work at the restaurant in the hotel she was working at. Who knows how long I could have been jobless if my sister once again wasn't already working somewhere that needed an extra staff member, and she just so happened to have an unemployed sister. She's how I got my first job as well. But yes, so my birthday was coming up, I had no money, and I really wanted the Patonus tattoo, but obviously I couldn't get it because I had no money. Beginning of July is my little brother's birthday, but of course end of June is all the financial year deals and everything. So my dad came by and he gave my brother an early birthday present so he could get something, get a lot more stuff, and get like end of financial year sales stuff. So then also he came to me because also it was my 21st coming up in a couple of months. For my sister's 21st, she had a nice big party, had lots of friends, they hired a venue, had a lovely party. So then my dad came to me and he's like, are you having a big party like your sister and everything? And so I said, no, like I've got no one to come. I've got no one who would come to my birthday, so no, I'm not having a thing. And he's like, okay. So I actually paid X amount of money towards your sister's birthday and all of that. If you're not going to have a party, maybe what I can do is when we have our family dinner, usually on our birthdays we go out to dinner with the family, and that's our family get together. So he says what I could maybe do is when we all go out to dinner, I'll pay for everything, I'll pay for everyone's meals, and the money that's left over that I spent on your sister, I'll give that to you directly. And I just thought, oh, okay. Yeah, that would be amazing, because my broke ass getting handed X amount of unknown amount of dollars, that was very good for me. So yes, that was a very good present. Money is always going to be a fantastic present. Like just always give me money. So then I got excited because then I was like, I might be able to get my tattoo. Like I might be able to get my Patonus still. Like this is so good. Like this is it. Yes, I can get my tattoo. Like this is okay. Whoa, okay, this is great. I'm just now trying to think, was it 2015 or 2016? No, 2015. Yeah, I'm getting it confused with my 22nd birthday in 2016, where I actually had a better group of people and was just in a bit more of a better place. So we had a Harry Potter marathon for my birthday, and yeah, that's what I'm getting confused. No, yeah, definitely 2015, my 21st birthday. But yeah, so I think like the next day after learning I'll be able to get money and get my tattoo, and I was so excited. I was like so excited. So then I'm like heating up some leftovers, or like making myself some lunch and everything, and then Mum comes in the kitchen, my sister and her boyfriend at the time, now he's her husband, you know, they were around as well and everything. And then like I was like, oh yeah, my family are here, I'm gonna tell them about this great news that I'm gonna be able to get my tattoo. What a lie that was. Oh, false sense of security. So anyway, I think I'm making a toasty or something. I know I was by the grill. I can't remember what for, but I was by the grill. And so yeah, so everyone's like in the kitchen. I was like, and I thought, you know, I'll be like, oh, I think I'm actually gonna be able to still get my tattoo for my 21st birthday and stuff. And before I was even allowed to explain why, my sister says, do you really think you should be doing that in your current predicament? Like, do you really think getting a tattoo is the right thing for you to do right now? I did not take that well at all. As soon as that was said to me, I shut down a little bit, and I then just didn't say anything, because I wanted this so much. And with not even hearing the explanation, you told me, you don't deserve that. So I don't particularly remember much else that was said after that, but I know I didn't say anything else about the matter. And I was just like, I just want my food, I just want to go. I needed to go to the shops. I was having my lunch and then I was going to the shops. I asked my mum if she would like to come with me, primarily because then I could scab a lift with her so that I wouldn't have to walk when I was still kind of sorting out my food. And then of course, like, then, you know, everyone was kind of like giving me their ideas of what I should do about it all and this, that, and it's like, no, just stop. Like, you don't understand. I've already thought about this for quite some time. Like, just don't. So yeah, when I made my lunch, I cried while I ate it by myself. I got my stuff ready and I was ready to just go and walk to the shops because I still needed to get things done. Of course, I had just asked Mum if she wanted to come with me, and so she's in the lounge room, which is like right in front of the doorway. So I've walked out and I'm like, I'm going to the shops now. She's like, oh, did you still want me to come with you? Like, did you still want to lift and stuff? And I was like, nope, I need to walk now. So, and then I left because I was just, yeah, life was not good around that point. And then the only kind of good thing or happiness that I was riding on was this tattoo. So no, I did not take well being told that I didn't deserve it. Because yes, being jobless and not having motivation for things, it just all built up. And not only was the thought of my tattoo my good thing to escape to, or to be like, you know, I'll be happy when I have the tattoo, I'll be happy when I have the Patonus. The only other time I could get away is when I would sleep. I have quite a lot of dreams because I had nothing better to do, because there was no point being up any later or getting up any earlier. I was in bed truly sleeping from about 9 p.m. to about 11 a.m. because there was nothing for me in the world. And the only time, you know, when things were okay was when I was just asleep and I could just create whatever random world that I could forget about in the next 2 days. So that day after that, I wasn't really good. The next day, I was back with Mum in the kitchen, and then I worded it differently, because that's what I did wrong. I didn't like say the good thing. I didn't get straight to the point straight away. Like, I had to have an introduction to the story, because instead of saying, oh, I think I'm still going to be able to get my Patonus tattoo, and then be able to carry on from there of being, and just have the thing being like, oh, really? Why do you, how are you going to get your tattoo? Cool. You know, the input of what was said instead. So, you know, I shouldn't have led with, I think I can get my tattoo still. I should have just said what I said to my mum the day after. I had a chat with Dad, not having a party, so Dad's gonna pay for everyone's birthday dinner and give me the remaining money. So with that, I should be able to get my tattoo. So, and like, Mum wasn't the cause of my upset in that situation, but this is what I said. I was like, so, you know, I'll get my tattoo, so thanks for destroying that for me yesterday. And then, you know, I was instant tears as well with that, because Mum knew something was up. There was that conversation. I ate my lunch while crying. I left to be by myself when I just asked her an hour ago if she wanted to come to the shops with me, and then I wanted to be alone. So it's like, she knew something was up. So Mum listened to what I felt about that. Again, I don't remember the next part of it, but I told her that and everything, and then it's like, look, I'm getting money for my birthday. I can get my tattoo. After that was sorted, I was finally able to get excited about it again. I waited until after I had money in hand to contact the artist that I wanted and actually book in. I found some designs, like I contacted her and I was like, hey, you know, seen your stuff, would like to get seen by you, please. She's like, sure, what do you want? So I sent her the pictures. I would really like this wolf position, but I like the art style of something else. I was like, I would like this position, I would like the style of this one. She's like, no probs, let me mash it together, let me figure it out. Thought, amazing. I want to go through the messages and get photos of what she sent me as well. Yeah. So she comes back a couple days later, sends me a message, hey, this is what I've done, and it's my tattoo. And I was like, that is amazing, that is so good, the color is beautiful, because I was nervous about the light blue, because the tattoos I had gotten before were just black. This was my first color tattoo, and it was a lighter color, so I was worried about how well that would work. But she did it really cool, and everything was awesome. And then so we booked a day. Yep, everything is awesome. Yep, I'll see you on this day, rah rah rah. So then of course I kept looking at it because it was beautiful. Like, it was about to be on my skin for life. Like, I need to make sure I like it. And then I noticed just a couple things about the look of it. I think when I first saw it, the tail was a little shorter than I would have liked. The belly was a little bit bigger. One of the paws was a little, I don't know, it just kind of looked odd to me. And so I said to her, hey, I've been looking at it a bit more. There's a couple of things I want to change, if that's all right. She's like, yeah, no problem. We'll do it on the day. That's not a problem. We can correct it. And then I kept thinking about it. And then I thought, and then I, discovered there was more, because the leg and the belly, they were the ones that stood out to me first. And then I kept looking at it and I was like, no, the tail is this, that. I was like, okay, no. I'm not leaving this on the day. I don't want to take up her time. I don't want to keep being a fusspot and saying, no, I want that needs to be different, that needs to be different. I didn't want to do that. So because I have some drawing experience, I printed it out. I stuck it on one of the clear window kind of doors, glass doors that we have. I stuck that on there, put another piece of paper over that. I traced around it, and then I drew my corrections over that, because I was like, yep, done. there's my corrections. That is exactly how I want it done now. And like, that's the shape I wanted. And then it's all the pretty wispy bits that she's done. Okay, now it's amazing. And so then I messaged her again. It's like, hey, sorry, I was overthinking it. These are the corrections I've done because I didn't want to just, you know, keep telling you that that's wrong. I want that changed. So this is the image I want. And all the color scheme that you did, that's amazing. I would like that, but just these corrections. And she's like, I wish all my clients were like you. This is great. We got no dramas then. I'll see you on the day. I'm like, thank you. I'll see you then. So that was good. Because I was kind of worried, be like, oh, what if she's upset that I changed it? But she was like, nah, awesome. We're good to go then. So that was cool. And then of course, I'm getting excited, like drawing it all up, and I'm talking to my mom, be like, oh my god, you know, like my Patronus. And then eventually she asked me, why is it your Patronus? Because I guess for her it was, why don't I just say wolf? Why don't I also just say tattoo? And so, because I was going through a hell of a rough time mentally, I told her it is my Patronus. Well, no, I didn't say that. She's like, why is it your Patronus? And I said, because I need something. I need something to protect me from the monsters that try to steal my happiness. Oh yeah, and then she sort of looked at me and was like, yep, checks out. The day I got it, and like the, you know, for however long, I just like had because my birthday's in August, so it's freaking freezing and cold. You know, I would air out the tattoo every now and again, like when I would put the cream on it. So then, of course, my pants leg would be rolled up and I would just kept staring at it. And then, of course, and then my sister just says, oh, stop looking at it and rah, it's not going to go anywhere. And I'm just like, excuse me for trying to look at the one tattoo I can see. Like, because my other tattoos at that time, they were all on my spine. I can't see that. Yeah, my Patronus was definitely a big milestone, almost, in a way, for me. The meaning and the purpose of them in Harry Potter, and the meaning I had with it, like, you know, for myself, you know, the kind of aligned and everything. So I needed it. I needed it to, I don't know, keep me grounded or something. I don't know. I just needed it to make me feel better for at least a moment. So that is our third story done. That was my Patronus origin story. Okay, we got ourselves a doozy one for story number 4. This is a story of my to-date worst panic attack. So this one really shook me. Like, I didn't know what was going on, really. And again, because this happened, it made me think. It helped me want to make this video because I just thought that was such an intense moment for me. And again, back to what I think I said before, on the off chance that something I say in this video has the potential to help at least one person, like discussing my mental illness to a work colleague, if that was able to help her with hers, then I guess it's worth giving a shot to. So this happened, I think, October or November 2019. So this was last year. So the panic attack was also had a very big lead up to from life events. Where I was in that current moment was just constant stress. It was basically a ticking time bomb as to when was my money gonna run out. I was just getting by paying rent. The main problem with that, sorry babe, my boyfriend quit his job. He quit his job because he was physically just not able to really continue doing it. However, all his plans for what he was going to do afterwards just didn't work. I was very nervous because with my work experience and trying to find the job, I knew it wasn't just gonna work. I knew I would be paying the bills. And he was an idiot. He should have gotten onto Centrelink a lot sooner than what he did. In my mind, there was gonna be more trouble if we weren't paying the bills, especially for the house and everything. There was gonna be a lot more problems if we weren't paying that than if I just picked up the slack and covered his share of things. So there was that. As always, I felt like I wasn't doing any Steamin STIX stuff. I didn't think I was progressing with anything. Like, I've been talking about it with Todd and Carl the last couple of days. I'm just excited for so much of it, but I just don't have the time and the energy to do it. Currently at the moment, it's also not good because I'm getting some good hours at work, but I'm just so tired. So I'm a dog washer, so it's a very physical job. So when I clock off for the day, I'm tired and I don't have the energy to do the fun hobbies that I want to do. I'm just way too mentally and physically exhausted to just play the drums, play an instrument. So in the lead up to the panic attack last year, I was now paying 2 people's share of bills. I was working all the time. I was tired afterwards. I wasn't doing my passions and my hobbies. And so then after a while, my money especially, it was just dwindling down. And then the weekend it happened. Like, I finished work, I went to Mum's place. I had a friend's birthday party that night, and it was a bit of a dress up. It was her 30th birthday, so she wanted to have a funeral for her youth. So she wanted everyone to, like, you know, be wearing black and funeral attire. The joke between us is that we're fiancés. I wanted to put a bit of a spin on the whole funeral idea, so I thought, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be the sad, upset, widowed fiancé, who, of course, my partner died under mysterious circumstances. So I got myself, so it was just after Halloween, so I was able to get a cheap, a nice kind of like cheap, you know, like Halloween dress and stuff from Savers. And I thought my mum had like one of those prop cigarette holders, what Cruella de Vil uses in, you know, 101 Dalmatians. I thought Mum had one of those because I thought that would really sell that kind of thing that I was going for. So I went to Mum's, and of course I was so tired because I was like, you know, I've just finished working, I need to get this, and I'm just sitting at the table just so down, like I could hardly keep my head up. And again, I just needed a distraction. So I was on my phone, scrolling through Facebook, so dead and tired. Unfortunately, Mum didn't have the cigarette holder, so then, in a way, I also came home for nothing. While I was at Mum's, this is a key point of information. While I was at Mum's, I was scrolling on my phone, and my phone died. Just so you know, my phone is dead. So I've gone home because then I've thought, crap, I have an hour of rest time that I can do, and then I've got to get ready for this party, and then I've got the entire party I need to, you know, be somewhat alive for. And then tomorrow there was an air show somewhere, so Carl asked me to come with him. But yeah, so he, you know, asked me to come along to that, and I said, yeah, sure, whatever. But then of course now it got to, you know, the day before that I was like, I've got this party to go to, I've got that I need to help with him with tomorrow, and then the next day after that I've got Centrelink appointments and this, that, and I'm just like, when am I going to get a break? And then I did the thinking, and I'm just like, 12 days. It's not until another 7 days that I get a break. Huh. Nice. So at this point, I have pulled up in my driveway, I've opened my car door, and I've turned my car off. When I left Mum's, I live pretty close to Mum. When I left Mum or when I arrived at home, the last time I remember seeing was 4:30 in the afternoon. I've taken my key out, the door is open, and I've just sat there. I'm just sat there in the driver's seat, and I just didn't do anything. Because I've done this before, because then I sat there and I'm like, aha, I'm having a panic attack. That's fine. I've done it here before. It'll go away. That's fine. I'll just sit here. So I'm just sitting there motionless for I don't know how long. I start crying a bit. I don't even move. So then after a while I think, I probably should get up. Yeah. I could hardly lift my head. Just a simple that. I just couldn't. So then again, I just sat there for a little bit. I think my head tilted and then I was stuck like this for however long. Eventually I was trying to, move parts of my body, and then after a while I was like, I don't think I can feel the keys in my hand. And I'm like, I know they're there. I can see in my mind that they're definitely there. I can't feel it though. Like I couldn't feel anything. So then eventually I was like, I can't do this, because then I stayed in the car because I have had a panic attack in there before, and I think what was making it feel safe for me is because if I'm in the car, I'm not anywhere. If I'm in the car, I'm driving, I can't answer my phone. Well, I couldn't answer my phone anyway because it was dead. Couldn't answer my phone, you can't get to me. I'm driving, I'm in the car, I'm not at home, nothing can get to me. So that was my limbo in that moment. And again, that's happened to me at least one other time before. So I was like, it's fine, we're just doing it again. Like this is fine. So then I think someone was having some kind of party down the street, because there was so many cars in the street and so many people walking by and everything. And then I thought, okay, maybe the reason I can't get out of the car is because I think my bag is too heavy. I think my bag is just too heavy in my mind. I was like, okay, if I can get one of the boys to come out, carry my bag, I reckon I'll be all right. So we've got a house chat, but my phone was dead, wasn't it? So I could not message them and just keep spamming help, so that one of them could just come outside and just come get me. So I couldn't do that. That wasn't an option. Carl's bedroom is the first one in the house, so that was right outside my door, and I could also hear that he was watching something. However, Carl has chronic pain. So something might have been on and playing, but I didn't know if he was awake or, movable himself. So of course the other thought would be just to yell out. Just yell out to him. His windows were open. I could hear what was playing on his computer. But that was too hard for me to do. That was just too much energy that I didn't have to just yell. So then I was like, okay. So I thought, okay, look, I'll beep the horn. To get my hand up to then push my horn was so hard. My hand was just so heavy, and like the button was just so hard to push. But then I thought I did 2 little beeps, and then I was like, I shouldn't do this. I'm going to annoy the neighbors. So I quickly gave that up. And then I thought, okay, maybe if I shake my keys, just constantly shake my keys, he'll hear it. So I started shaking my keys. Eventually I was able to start moving myself because I had to get myself in a better shaking position. So eventually I was able to lean over the doorway and have 1 or 2 feet out of the car, hand on the steering wheel, other hand on like the seat, or I think in my lap, I don't know. And then again I just sat there because that was so painful, yet there was no pain. Just so hard and so painful just to move into that position. So then I just sat there and I just shaking my keys. And then of course I start crying because I just thought, how the hell can I just not move? Like, why can't I move? So after I realized no one was coming, I need to get to the door. I need to get inside the house. I was finally able to get myself up. Like, I had to hold on to anything I could that was around because I couldn't stand up myself. You know, pushing on the car to get myself up. I think there was the bins that I flopped myself over to, and then we've got like this kind of lattice thing along that. So I think I either didn't go on the bin or I just went straight to the lattice and kind of, you know, went around that. And then I went onto the bin, and then we've got a couple of steps up to the doorway. So then I got there and I'm just leaning on everything that I could. And then I thought, crap, I've got to get the key in the hole. So then I unlock the first door, and then the keyhole in the second door was a bit more higher up, and I'm like, beep. And so then I eventually get the key in, unlock it, and then my feet didn't even get inside the house. I just collapsed right there in the doorway. The door was still open. My feet were hanging off the edge of the doorway. They weren't even in the house. And I just sat there in the entranceway and I just started crying. And I just started crying and sobbing so much. And then so my keys were in the door, and then Carl's room was right there. And then I thought, okay, I'm collapsed on the floor. This is all I'm gonna do. So like my hand, like I was on the face first on the floor, and then I just started tapping my hand on the ground because that was the only thing I could do to make it known that I was there. My boyfriend's room was down the hall. I saw that his door was open as well, so I thought, awesome, like someone's got to hear it, like and then like nothing happened for a little bit, and I thought, of all the times, why is Todd not in his frickin' room? Yeah, I think maybe a max of about a minute, because then of course there was the fear of Carl might be asleep, Carl might be out of it, like. So after a total of about maybe a minute, Carl finally opened up the door and just sees me in a mess, just on the floor. And so he like freaked out because that doesn't happen to me. And I could just feel like I was my face, like I could just feel all of this face was just in a complete pile of, it was just in a complete puddle of like friggin' tears and snot, and I could just feel it all on my face. Carl's trying to ask, what's wrong? Are you okay? Like what's going on? And I just couldn't say anything. I just couldn't do anything but cry. And then I can't remember, did I stop tapping my hand once Carl was there? I don't know. And then so Todd was out in the backyard, and so Carl just went and got Todd. So we brought him in, and then they're both back being like, what's wrong? What's happening? Like what's wrong? And again, like I still couldn't say anything. I was still just too busy crying. And then they were like, when they were still like first saying what's wrong, all I had the energy to do was just move my hand and just be like, that's what's wrong. It's just all in my head. What's wrong? So Todd just tried to get me up and just, try and get me to lie down in bed and stuff. And he's like, I need to get you in the bed, but like I can't. You need to get up so I can do like something. So then I had to try and get up off the floor just enough so that he could like grab me. And again, like that was just so hard, like that was just so hard to push myself up and just get on my knees. And then I was able to do it, and then he was able to like, grab me like under my shoulders, you know, under my arms and stuff, and just like picked me up and just freaking walked me to my bed, and then he just like put me on the bed, and then I was just crying, and poor Carl Carl didn't know what to do, so he's freaking out, and he's just like, I'll make you some tea. And then so all the while I'm still just crying. And so then, yeah, once like Todd got me on the bed, he then just laid down with me and just like held my hand and leant on me and stuff. And then I think I was trying to say, because once I was already there, once I was on the bed, the next thought was I'm gross, like I need to have a shower. That was the only thought that was then going through my mind, like I need to have a shower. So I was trying to say, like, I need to have a shower, I need a shower, and all of that. And Todd's like, no, we're not doing that right now. We're just gonna lie here. And then they were being like, no, we're gonna do slower breathing. You know, we're gonna slow that down. It might have been here, but I can't remember. But then, you know, I might have said, look, the car, my bag, but I can't quite remember. But yeah, but then eventually, after just lying on the bed, just trying to slow my breathing down, then eventually, finally, he got me into the shower, and then we've got like, you know, one of those little kind of stool things. So I was like, I want the stool. I need to just sit on the stool. Got the shower running, got the stool in there. I got in the shower and I just sat there. I just sat there and continued to cry. And then, because that was the only other thing that was on my mind, I was like, message my friend and tell her that I can't make it, like, tell her I can't make it to the party tonight. And he's like, sure, like, okay, yes, I'll tell her. So then he messaged my friend telling her, I don't know what exactly he said, but, you know, he told her I'm not good right now, and then I can't make it. And then, you know, he said she responded with, you know, something good, just be like, doesn't matter, like, take the time, that's completely fine. So then I'm just sitting there in the shower until I calm down. Yeah, either I told them or they just checked outside and saw, like, you know, grab my stuff from the car, locked up my car. So 4:30, I potentially got back home. It wasn't until 7 o'clock that I was slightly calmer, slightly more, still distressed, but I wasn't a crying mess. I think we had to reheat it, but I had the tea that Carl made for me. Todd was just like, where do you want to sit? Where do you want to lie down? Let's just get you comfortable there. But then after a while, I think I had the tea. I think I ate something. And then I was like, crap. I should probably message my family about this. Because if it was just a normal panic attack, I wouldn't have said anything. If it was a normal panic attack, then, you know, nothing would have needed to be said. But it wasn't. And I was like, I should probably tell them, both mum and dad. I'll you know, Facebook and Messenger, so I could just send them, like, make a conversation with them and send them everything that happened. And then about halfway through of writing it, I thought, I'll add my sister into it, because I can't remember, because it was a while ago, it was last year. I was a little annoyed at her with some things, and I was just like, nah, I'm gonna have her in it so that she can freaking understand that I'm having a difficult time right now. So I sent them a message of what had just happened, because I was just at Mum's. Mum mentioned she wasn't doing much that night, so I was like, I think I need my mum. I think I need my mum to come over. So then there's, you know, a bit of messages back asking about things, and then my sister called me up, and I was like, I gotta try and, like, reply to these, and now you're calling me, and like, so I answered the call, and then we were talking a bit, and then I was able to tell my sister a bit more of the reason for the panic attack. I said in the message, look, this is a pretty big panic attack. I've never had these before, so I thought it was worth letting you know. So then my sister's asking me what's going on. I can't quite remember what exactly I said, because the main point of the panic attack, I think, was I was just way too overloaded. There was just too much stuff that I had to do, and there was nowhere in sight that I could have a rest. So my body decided, we're gonna rest right now. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna shut down completely so you can't move and you can't do anything but rest. That's what we're gonna do right now. The bit that I was not expecting from my sister, what she did, because then I got to the point of talking about money. And I was like, there's no other choice but to pay potentially both our bills, or both our rent at the very least. And I was like, I have this much money left. I have 2 rent payments left, and that's all I have. I can't guarantee that the money I'm gonna earn in between each rent payment is gonna give me anything. I can't guarantee. I just can't guarantee that the money I'm earning is gonna be enough. And then I broke down crying because I was like, I have this much money left. How am I supposed to be okay with that? Like, how am I supposed to not feel anything but stress? Because I could see that I was weeks away from ruin. Dog washing is kind of a seasonal thing. People tend to not get their dogs washed as often in the winter months. Somehow I was actually earning good money throughout that winter period of 2019, but I had a second person's rent to pay on top. So yeah, I was just scraping by. So then I was telling my sister, and I was like, I've got this much money left. I can hear her saying nothing, and she's just silent. And then she's like, okay, I'm gonna do something. And I need you to know, it's not because I'm feeling sorry for you. It's not because I'm pitying you. It's because you need it. She said, you are going to send me your bank details, and I'm gonna send you this amount of money. And I was like, what? She's like, this money is going to go through and be put towards all your bills, all your rent, and you're not going to have to think about that and worry about that. When you can pay me back, that's when you do it. I am not in a hurry for this money. We are not going to be out of pocket by giving you this money for a little bit. When you're comfortable, you can pay me back. So of course, I needed that money. I needed that safety net and security, and that was so much money. Because the other thing that helped be the tipping point for me is Todd started applying for courier positions. He had one guy email, call him back and be like, you sound perfect, but do you have your own van? No. Alright, I need you to have your own van. So, also the fact of Todd not having work because he doesn't have a van, the thought of, what can we do about getting you a van? Like, I did have the thought of, can I ask my dad for some money and then we'll get a job and then we'll be able to pay him back? That week being like, Todd nearly had a job, but he didn't. That was also weighing on me because I was like, I just can't keep paying for things, and I can't keep paying for things for the both of us anymore. Like, I just can't do it. So then my sister sent me money, and then yeah, we were talking about it for a while, and then she's like, are you all right? Like, are you a bit better and all that? And I was like, I've been messaging Mum while we've been talking, so she's coming over in a bit, so you know, that's gonna be okay. She's like, okay. So yeah, so she was nothing more than a lifesaver at that point. Mum came over. I was basically, once again, going over what happened. And then I mentioned about the courier job and stuff, and about, you know, getting a van or something. And then Mum said, maybe you could ask your dad. Maybe you could ask if he can spot you for a bit. So then the next night, I did as well, in the message chat that I sent and all of that. Then, you know, he's like, let us know if you need anything. And I was like, beep. Well, I need money. That's what I need. So I gave him a call, asked him for a bit of money so we could hopefully get Todd a van, get Todd a job. And he was like, I should be able to send that over tomorrow. Then I get a message from him, and then it said, beep, I can send it now. So then I had the money my sister sent me, and then the extra money that my dad sent me. And then all of a sudden I was looking at my bank account and I'm just like, why is it so hard for me to save that money myself? So yeah, so that day was, that point in time was definitely the lowest. It's definitely the lowest I've been. And of course, you know, my family definitely showed how much they are there for me. I would like to say everything went well, and then we bought a van. Todd contacted courier people saying, I've got a van, I'm ready to go. He said yes to a couple of things, and then read the fine print of their contracts and all of that, and he looked at it and he's like, I'm not making any money. None of this makes any money. So then, once again, we're like, what the hell? And then, of course, finally, then he freaking did go on to Centrelink. And then he was getting, you know, money from Centrelink. And then I was just like, I don't have to pay your beeping bills anymore. I don't have to pay your rent anymore. So then, yeah, things were looking okay. And then my savings was building up. And then I thought, oh, I reckon I could pay my sister back every 2 months, have her paid back by the middle of the year. I think I can do that. And my car started having troubles. Because then, like, I broke down somewhere and I sent her a message. I was like, look, so you're in the loop. This is how I was planning on paying you back. But now I've got this issue with my car. So I did pay a little bit. I paid about half that I wanted to pay back at the first time I wanted to start doing that. And then it's really bad, but COVID-19 happened. And it was really great financial wise, in the fear that we would be closed for an unknown amount of time. Everyone got their dogs in for a wash and a groom. So we were almost, if not more, busier than Christmas. So I was earning a lot of money. The second installment that I was paying back my sister, I sent her a message and said, I can pay you the rest back. Like, I could pay you back in full. I've got enough. She sends back, yeah, like, only if you're comfortable. And I sent her, I've got this amount of money in my bank account. She's like, oh, you've been doing well with your saving. So yes, I think October or November 2019 is definitely my lowest of lows and my worst panic attack. I was going to therapy at that time. I had just had a session, I think I had a therapy session that week and I didn't have much to report. And then the weekend came and I was like, haha, when can you get me in again? I have something to discuss. But yes, things have definitely not gone away. Like, in some way, yes, things have improved, but in other ways, nope, still bad. But, you know, still here, so I guess that's alright. But yes, this finally concludes story number 4 for all of this. Okay, now we can end it on a happy story. So thank you for sticking around all through all of this. Now we get to end it on our happy note. Note, cause it's a music story. Ha 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 ha. So we're gonna take it back all the way to 2012. Year 11 is when everything started, and you know, going forward into like 2012 and doing year 12, it was very easy to keep track of the years when I was in that year level of the year. Pretty much the end of year 12, and yeah, I've really not been going well for a while. I think that year as well, I was starting to lose it a bit and just breaking down. So one night, I was just like telling mum how wrong everything was. She said, maybe if you feel up to it, maybe you can try and see the school counsellor tomorrow. So then I did that and had a bit of a chat with her, because usually one of the things, I think the thing that I remember from talking with her is I was saying my alarm would go off and I used to turn it off straight away and be up and I'd be going and doing stuff. Now I hate the alarm. I still hate the alarm. It's one of my current issues. I've always got to have a freaking alarm. I can't just stay in bed and do nothing. So I was talking to the counsellor and I said I just can't deal with the alarm anymore. I can't remember if I saw her twice or not, but the thing that kind of kept me through it was I said to her, I just let the alarm ring. I didn't want to turn it off, because if I turned it off, then that meant I had to go to school. I had to deal with everything. And then what she said that was helpful to me at that time was, we were up to basically term 4 for year 12s is like 2 weeks, and then it's all exams for the next, however many weeks as well, and then you're done. So there was only 2 weeks left of school, and then it was just, I think I had 2 or 3 exams. So then she said, think of it this way, that might help you. Just think it's only 2 more weeks and then you don't have to do this. And then that's what I kept saying every day, every single day. It's just 2 weeks. It's just 2 weeks. It's just 2 weeks. Yeah, I definitely think that was the second time. I saw her a second time, and that's when she said that. Because then when I was talking to her the first time, I don't remember what happened in there, but I know at the end she was saying she'll, inform my teachers and let them know I'm feeling a bit of stress and pressure and all of that. And I'm like, great, that's exactly what I want them to know. Because unfortunately with my woodwork teacher, I think I did have a little bit of a breakdown in front of him, like very, very small, but I definitely started crying because I don't know, I can't quite remember what it was, but I just couldn't deal with it, and I just cried. My year 12 subjects were woodwork, PE, music, and Japanese. So then those teachers were informed, and then I think my PE teacher that day or the next day after the lesson, I was last to walk out of class, and I think something more could have been done, but also the stigma towards mental illness now compared to when I was in high school is vastly different. So I was the last to leave. I was a little bit slow behind all the others, and then my teacher asked me, and I knew it was because he would have been told, because she said she was telling me all my teachers. And then he asked that. He's like, are you doing all right, Steph? And of course I lied. Of course I lied and say, yeah, I'm fine, and then just went about my day. But again, you could have taken into consideration, is that the right word? Or you could have thought, like, maybe that's the time that he could have potentially said, no, I've just been approached. You've gone to the counsellor, Steph. Something's not right. But of course that didn't happen. But and I think it's more to do with my bad Are You OK Day experience. People say I'm there for you, but I have quite clear experience that no, you're not. And with the ads I've been seeing on the TV now, they're helping give you suggestions of what to say after asking, are you okay? So again, if I told the truth and said, I'm not handling things well. He was a good teacher, but then it's also like, would he have known to say helpful things? Would he have known to just be able to listen? So I don't know. That's not the story I'm supposed to be talking about anyway, so but yes, my good story. I was obviously learning music in high school. My music categories that I was learning and working towards and getting graded on was arranging and composing, and I had arranging and composing, ensemble performance, and solo performance. So all the solo stuff I was doing with my teacher, all the ensemble stuff. I was in both the school bands. I was being graded on how well I could play my part with the band and also separately. And of course, I then was showing how well I could perform by myself in my solo performance. And then, yeah, arranging and composing, you know, a bit of music theory and learning how to try and arrange songs differently. And then, of course, write my own stuff, which a couple of the stuff that I've written in high school, I am eventually, hopefully, I'm eventually going to do as Steamin STIX. So that's going to be really good when I eventually do them. One of the band's practices is Wednesday afternoon. That was stage band practice. I didn't really like stage band as much. It was more of a jazz band. That wasn't really my style of music. The concert band, which had practice Thursday mornings, I liked that one a lot more because I found that the songs that we did in concert band were like really interesting. And so, you know, it's kind of like those big, you know, kind of like the what you would typically think orchestral bands to be playing, and you know, that sort of stuff. Like that was really interesting to me. I really enjoyed doing those because I was able to not only play drums every now and again, but I was able to play in the rhythm section. So I was also playing the timpanis. I really loved playing the timpanis. Play timpanis, xylophone, vibraphone. Sometimes your part would be like however many different percussion stuff, but you have to play like 5 percussion bits. One of the songs that I really liked, I was playing the vibraphone and the bongos, so that was pretty cool. And like, having said that, a really fun song we did in stage band, the setup I had to do for that, oh my goodness. I was reading my sheet music here. Was it the bongos or the conga? I think it was the congas. The congas are like really tall bongos. So I had the congas here. What was here? There were these other kind of, they looked like snare drums, but they weren't snare drums. And they, you know, had another kind of like deeper bang to them. And then I had a tambourine attached somewhere as well. So what I was playing in the song was constantly, tambourine was getting smashed the entire time, and while I was doing that, I was also on the bongos doing dun 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 dun. It was intense. I was working really hard in that song. But yeah, and then in a concert band song, I just had the crash to play on one of the songs, and that was so fun because it was like soft and then get loud, and then I was like and all of that. And then we did it in front of an assembly one day, and someone went up to the music teacher and said, "That chick playing the crash, I could not stop watching her. She was so cool." And of course then my teacher told me, and then I was like, "That's just because I'm amazing." Hell yeah. But anyway, getting off track again. This is what happens when I don't script things. So yeah, so things were not so good. I was under a lot of stress. I didn't want to go to stage band rehearsal. I asked the teacher if it was okay for me to miss a stage band rehearsal, and she said no, because of course all the other students that also had solo and ensemble performance and all of that, they still needed to practice. But I also felt like I wasn't the prime drummer for that band anyway, so I also felt like there was no issue for the other drummer to play the songs that I usually do on drums. So yeah, I kind of left in a huff after that because everything was just shit. So it gets to the next week. Don't remember what it was. I think I was just roaming around the school at lunch. I had music as my next lesson after lunch. I just went into the music suite to see if anyone was in there, just to kind of get away, and then I was ready for when the classes started again. So I was talking to kind of like the head music teacher, which I've known her since 2004, because the primary school that we went to was across the road from the high school. They had kind of a music program where us primary school kids were allowed to learn clarinet and flute at the high school. We moved to Adelaide in 2004, and then so I had already been playing recorder for 2 years, and then, you know, clarinet offer was like given to my parents, and then they asked me, oh, do you want to play clarinet? What's clarinet? It's like a big recorder. Why not? Yeah, so I had been already, by the time I had gotten to high school and actually, you know, was actually enrolled in the school, I had already known the music teachers for like 4 years. I was already, you know, well adjusted to those teachers in a way and knew of them. I've been thinking about it for a few years, and I was very tempted to do it finally this year, but then COVID happened. Yeah, because my sister is a teacher now, so she's kind of got connections where she could potentially... I would really like to see my old, the main music teacher and just be like, I'm still doing music and I'm doing all these other things too. Like look at all the instruments I can play when I finally play them. Because truly, yeah, like if a way you look at it, my music life and journey could have easily stopped dead if the music teachers at the school were just horrible people and just horrible in general sort of thing. So the fact that I just had good influences, and after high school just still had things that have just kept trickling me towards a music lifestyle and instrument way. And yeah, I just want to kind of see her again and be like, I'm still doing this. Like this is incredibly important to me. But yeah, so we're at lunch. I come to the music suite and I'm just very deflated and sad. Can't remember what's said, but you know, she starts talking to me and then I just start crying because everything's bad. I'm trying so hard. Because what was annoying as well is woodwork and music, for some reason, because they're such easy subjects, in a way they kind of like get downgraded or aren't respected as much as some of the other subjects at school. So my best subjects that I was getting A's for weren't seen as good. My classes that I was succeeding very well in were not for, the ATAR that we had. Yeah, it wasn't giving me the grades that I needed to seem like a good student, like on the books. I don't think I got a good ATAR. I remember I was upset about my ATAR because it was just so low, because my good subjects were just looked down upon. So whatever. So then I was explaining to my music teacher that everything's I'm trying so hard and everything's still falling apart. I still can't do this. Things weren't going well, and then the bell rang, kids were coming in to do their lessons, and then me and the teacher were just like right in front of the freaking doorway, and I'm just crying. And yeah, she's had to let the kids in and all of this. And then the other music teacher who conducts the stage band, she then, you know, sees me crying and then is like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong? Are you okay and everything? And I was just like, please, can I not do stage band tonight? And she's like, yes, of course, you don't need to be there. Oh, my shoelace is untied. But in her defense from the other week, I then realized that she didn't want me to miss stage band because she thought that's the band that I was going to be graded on for my ensemble performance, where I chose concert band because I was on a lot more instruments and I thought I was more impressive with what I did in concert band than what I did in stage band. So she didn't want me to miss it because she thought I was going to be graded within that band. She didn't want me to, you know, miss a practice time and everything. But no, I was doing the other band. So yeah, so then my friends came in because we had a lesson starting then, and then they saw me crying and they're like, Steph, what's wrong? Like, and all of this. And then I can't remember what we actually did that lesson. I think I might have just sat by myself, or at least I sat with my friends, but I'm like, I'm not doing anything. And they're like, that's cool. we're all doing individual work anyway, we're just sitting together, so that's fine. So yeah, so then I think, yeah, that was Wednesday, because then I had stage band, which I didn't go to that night. And then so Friday is my drum lesson. You know, doing my drum lesson, I go through we're finally getting to the good part of the story. So I'm at my drum lesson, I'm going through my solo songs that, you know, I'm getting graded on, this, that, and whatever. And then I finished one of the songs, and then I felt so crap, and I was just like, that was off, that was, you know, out of time, like things weren't going on, and I just sat there and I'm like, shit, this is not what I need right now. And then my teacher sits back in his chair, and he's like, you know, some of my other students don't even know what they're gonna do for their solo performance. Some of them haven't even picked songs. You have been practicing these songs all year. You have been playing some of these songs since last year. You've been perfecting them all year. He's like, every week you've come in and you've blown me away. Every week, like, every week you keep pushing and, like, keep being better. He's like, and here's the kicker. He's like, I am so proud of how you've come. I'm so proud of how far you've come. Like, this is really good. And then I just sat there like, what? What? I didn't say that. But yeah, I was just like, and it was just, I was just not prepared for it at all. And then, like, that was the end of my lesson. So then I leave, and then music teacher was out, and she's like, oh, so how'd you go and stuff, and I just started crying, and she's like, oh no. I was like, no. And I was like, no, these are happy tears. And I said he's proud of me. So yeah, so then that was, again, I felt like I had to fight so hard to be able to play drums, because, you know, I was playing clarinet from 2004 to 2008, and I was hating playing clarinet since, like, 2006, because I was like 11 or 12 by then, so it wasn't cool. It wasn't cool to play clarinet. But of course I kept doing it because my mum was like, but you're so good at it. I haven't been practiced for 3 years. Yeah, sure, just, like, make me go and do that. Oh, also, because me and my sister were so good at clarinet and flute, because we were getting lessons from the high school, we were asked in primary school to join the high school bands and compete with them and stuff. So again, like, my music teacher, I've been playing clarinet with it. Like, she didn't teach me clarinet, but, like, with the concert band and stuff, like, I've been working with her since primary school. So yeah, I wanna catch up with her again, and just, you know, try and show off what I've been able to create with it all, with music. So with drums, when I played them in year 8, because in year 8 you kind of just have a play of everything, and then year 9 you kind of do it properly and learn an instrument. When I played the drums, I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. Like, I've hated clarinet for so long. I want to play the drums. I had to do so much convincing to my mum to try and, like, swap over to drums. So yeah, so then on my final year of, like, you know, one of my final lessons, after everything being crap, my drum teacher said he was proud of me, and I needed that. So then I tell the other music teacher after the lesson that he said he's proud of me, and then the actual class lessons have finished and changing over, which that was then my class lesson as well. So then my friends are coming in, and I'm crying yet again. She's like, oh no, Steph, are you okay? I said, and yeah, that might have been when I said these are happy tears and all of that. So then I told my friends what happened, and they were happy for me. I can't remember that bit. The next week I walk into my lesson. I said to him, I was like, look, I've been having a hard time lately. So what you said to me last week was really good for me and everything. So thank you and stuff. And yeah, so then he's like, he comes over to me, he's like, truly, like, you're doing so well, and you're like so prepared for this, like you're gonna smash this, like this is gonna be nothing for you, like, because then there were some songs that he had from a book and he printed out and he got me to play, and then I was really liking them, I was really getting to the vibe of them, and they were written by the same guy, and I asked him, is there more of this guy, like I'm really liking this, and he's like, there's actually a whole book, would you like me to get you the book? I'm like, I would love for you to get me the book. So then I got the book from him, and then there was this song. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put the name of the book in the description because it's really like such a good book. And there's also a CD as well, so you can hear how the songs are played, so it can help you understand you know, what you should be doing. There was this one song on there and it sounded so cool, but it was so hard, and I said to him one day, I was like, oh, I really want to play that one, it sounds so good, and he's like, it's like, yeah, that's cool. He's like, I think that is maybe a little too difficult for you right now, so maybe not, maybe we won't go through it. And I just thought, is that a challenge? And so a few weeks go by, so I come back from my lesson, I was like, okay, I know you said it was going to be too hard for me, but I've been working on this. I was doing it so slow, and I only got, I think, about maybe 3/4 away through the first page. But like, I played the song and he was like, you only played that much. You played at, you know, the slower speed, but you played that perfectly. He was like, well then, I was like, I really like the song. So that's all my stories for this Are You OK Day special. Yeah, I hope it was interesting. Looking at the time and everything, this has taken me like almost 3 hours to talk through, so this is a lot longer than I thought it would be, so I apologize. I guess this is probably a point in time where I should say something uplifting and encouraging. I was worried about this part because I don't think I have anything to say. I think the only piece of advice I could give is, it's hard, especially if you've got depression, but find something small, something that can feel like it's just yours, and if it gives you the smallest amount of happiness, just hold on to it. Just keep going with it for as long as you can, because I can beat myself up all I want of feeling like I'm not working on Steamin STIX as much as I would like, and then I have the thoughts of, well, maybe I should just quit, it's not gonna matter anyway, maybe I should just quit and get rid of everything. But all the plans and all the things that I want to do and create with that is just, I just can't, because it does give me joy, it does bring me happiness, it's just the rest of life that ruins it for me. And it's also trying to find the balance of doing the things that you do have to do, like, unfortunately, you have to have money to be able to live in a house, to be able to buy food, to be able to buy the things that you like. So it is best that you have a job to pay for that, but that also takes away time and energy for you to enjoy your hobbies. But eventually you do have to find the time and just allow yourself to unapologetically and without shame let yourself enjoy them, or let yourself do nothing for a bit. And that's something I really struggle with, just to let myself do nothing. And also, if maybe there's someone around you who is maybe not doing too well, again, my only advice for that is just, when you're able to as well, sometimes all you'll need to do to help is to just listen, understand that things aren't okay for them, and just, they can't explain anything other than everything's just wrong. And speaking of holding on to things and doing things that make you happy, usually I try to have a bit more of a theme with the background especially, and I do try to put some thought into the clothing that I wear in my videos. At the time I'm recording this, it was my birthday 2 weeks ago, so a few weeks before my birthday I decided I deserved some birthday gifts from myself. So if you can see my cute little Kevin wolf, my little Kevin pup, I have really been enjoying the Awoo Comics I have been seeing on Facebook. So I got myself a jumper. I'll try and ignore the fact that I stuffed up and bought a size small and not a medium or large. So it looks fine, but it's definitely, I definitely would have preferred a bigger, comfier, loungier sort of jumper, but it's fine. I can get my mum to help me add like more material like on the sides to space it out a bit. It's fine. I can fix that. But also what I was wearing in my part 1, I'm wearing this shirt as well, my nice one Colin. So yeah, I am also enjoying the Colin comics from Gareth Jones art that I'm also seeing on Facebook. So yep, I love my little ratigans and I love my wolves, and yes, I wanted something fancy because it was my birthday. And lastly, if you notice my background, I have been getting Todd to watch through all of Avatar. We just finished season 2 of Korra, so we've got a little bit more to go with that. And yeah, and so he bought me the map of everything, and this is really cool because it's got the locations of where everything is and the way they travel to all the places. It's kind of hilarious because in the travel journey of book 3, it's all over the place. Like they literally go all over the world. Then can you? Oh, hang on. And then we got Appa. They don't have Zuko in here. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't put Zuko on there too. Like, Aang is wearing his book 3 stuff. Like, Zuko has to be in the group. Yeah, so I've got my Avatar stuff up because it makes me happy. So yeah, so if you are still here, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Yeah, my voice is actually a bit sore now. I've been talking for a few hours. So editing's going to be fun, but it's good because I've allowed myself 3 weeks of editing time to get this done on time. So yeah, it's going to be fine. So links to everything that I mention will be in the description. It's been a lot of me storytelling, but there are a few things that I need to have links for. So I do hope something that I've said has potentially given you maybe some comfort in a way. I'm not sure, I don't know. From what I've seen of it, the Are You OK organisation seems to be doing a really good job of, I was gonna say promoting mental health, but definitely promoting mental health awareness, because if you think about it, it's actually been shown in some cases, just like every other organ, your brain is an organ that can break down or malfunction, and you know, we've all got a brain. It could happen to every one of us. So the more that we can be understanding of other people, maybe that can at the very least make them feel better for that moment. So once again, thank you for listening, and with that, I'm tired, so I am definitely off to bed. Night night.
Why is it so cold over here?
Because I haven't put the heater on.
Are you still doing stuff?
Yeah, I'm still doing stuff. I got one more story left. And I'm nearly the end of this one.
I just gotta heat things up and grab some more cake and then I'll be out of here.
Alright.
This cake is different.
Well, it's 2 different types of cake.
No. I mean, like, the type of cake it is. It's cheap. So
well, yeah, mate.
Because it's the cheap stuff. It's not as nice. It's not as nice a cake, so.
Oh, well, now I don't want it. What a lie, I want the cake.
I was going to say, the good news is that you can separate it and eat them as 2 separate cakes.
Yeah.
Because they fall apart quite easily.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm hiding again.
Alright, thank you. I'll try to remember to put this bit at the end.